GM. So it was a really chill weekend. Like,
Holy
so chill.
cow. Here we
So
are.
chill.
It's Monday.
Just a regular Monday.
How's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing great, right? GM. Yeah, so we've got a few things to talk about today, and we're going to start with some news in just a little bit. We've got a lot happening on the timeline, you might be aware. And then we have amazing ChuckStock from Farcade to come talk to us about all things Farcade. So buckle up, everybody. It's going to be a fun ride, and we'll see you in just 40 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Monday, January 20th, and you are here with Nanish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news. Not really, because we're going to shift to an interview. But we're very excited to have you here. And Adrian, how was your weekend?
Hi, happy MLK Day, everybody.
Happy MLK Day. I forgot to grab that. I should grab that little image that I pulled this morning. So very chill weekend. Not much happened. We have nothing to talk about this morning. Lovely background, by the way.
Yeah, it's Melania.
It's lovely. Not the first lady, the token. To be clear. To be clear. But I'm going to start with this. This just dropped from DS8, and it is the Calmer app. So if you should find for some reason today, this week, the next 4 years, you need to feel a little calmer, go check out this app. It will help you with some 478 breathing, and it walks you through the breathing process of doing some of this type of breathing to calm you. So highly recommend. Go give it a look. DS8 has it on their profile, but very cool. And you can use this also when you're not on a yoga retreat. So
that's right. You should pin. This is a great example of why you want to pin or save frames, because it's very different than other frames we've seen. And great timing. I mean, did he know that?
Like he knew that we might have had
before, or did he know this was the weekend?
Might have known.
And yes, I will be on a yoga retreat this week. So this is my one and only
day this week with us. It's very sad. But I will say that we do have Toady Hawk, who's going to be with us Wednesday, and we have a takeover happening on Friday with Naomi and Lynx, which we're very excited about. So it's going to be a fun week. But the weekend was interesting. So I think that says it all. Thanks for the 20 Billy bandos. So if you're not familiar with what this reference is, this goes back to a Pump Fun with a 12-year-old kid who rugged live on screen when Pump Fun had their live streaming available. And somebody just did a little Photoshop with it. So in case you missed it, there were a couple of tokens that launched. Oops, I'll come back to that in a second. There were a couple of tokens that launched in the past couple weeks, the past couple days, 48 hours. On Friday, there was a crypto ball in Washington, D.C. So there was a crypto ball, and that evening, $ Trump token meme coin on Solana launched, and it immediately skyrocketed. And this was really interesting. Moonshot reports 200K new users last night. That is amazing. Kraken just announced Trump listing, available now. Legal doc circulating on X claiming USA launching on 124. I believe that is untrue. So I don't think that is actually true. Non-crypto group chats asking me if it is a scam and why to buy it. And this was a quote cast of DWR's massive Overton window shifting events create massive new surface areas for opportunity. Will be chaotic, weird, and exhausting year. Buckle up. So Adrienne, a lot of people were like, what's an Overton window? And for those who may not know, do you know what it is?
Yes.
I assume you do. Okay. Before I shoot it to you to explain. Okay, go ahead. Why don't you explain to the folks what an Overton window is?
It's just kind of the politically acceptable things that you're allowed to say without any sort of say and do. So
like throughout time, if you think about something like, I think like gay marriage is really good, in gay rights is a really good example of something that took a long time culturally to become accepted. But once it was culturally accepted, then it became politically comfortable for the politicians to support it. And we saw that like during Barack Obama's term, for example, he went from not supporting gay marriage to supporting gay marriage. So it was like, because things shifted, and that happens with a lot of things. And we're seeing that with crypto right now, is crypto is now politically acceptable.
Oh, yes, it is. And when an Overton window, I think there's kind of two things to consider. One is like, what's in it? Like, what is the kind of the acceptable things you're allowed to say and do, but also kind of like how narrow or wide is the window? And and I think generally you want to live in a place that has a wider window.
Yeah, and we don't know how big this window is. We have no idea. But this weekend,
open.
It was smashed open or not. We're not quite sure now because there might be some backlash from everything that happened this weekend. Because after the Trump token launched, by the way, wanted to mention this, Buoy, Trump conversational volume on Buoy, see major tokens on our new tokens page. So that's pretty cool. If you want to see the conversation that's happening, in how much is happening, you can look at Buoy for this, and also the new token listings, the $ token, click on them and you'll see some information as well. But there was a lot of like mixed thoughts on this. And this was from Jesse Pollock on Trump. To everyone, a huge win for crypto. The Overton window is shifted and many new people coming on chain. To Solana, reaffirms your awesome work. Proud to build alongside you. To based builders, this is the beginning. Time to buckle down, keep building, stay based, because there was some, it was on Solana. So there was some like folks who weren't happy about that.
I love Jesse because everybody tries to like pick the winners and losers of everything, right?
Yeah.
Which is very zero-sum minded. Like for every winner, there has to be a loser. And Jesse just refuses to play that game. And he's like, nope, let me tell you how this is a win for everybody.
Yep.
So
exactly. Yeah. Because there was a lot of people like, he wasn't on, there was a lot of ETH FUD happening because the token was launched on Solana, and it was like, it's fine. Like it was really, unnecessary. And then this from Nick Tomano, this was on X, on Twitter, but I can't believe I just said X.
That was the first time you've ever said that.
Lord help me.
Prof, the Overton window has smashed. You're now accepting of the fact that Twitter was sold and renamed.
Congrats. I will not accept it. 2 Satoshis on the Trump meme coin. Net positive vibe shift from Biden anti-crypto era to Trump era is great. Trump owning 80%, or we should say the team behind the token owning 80%, and timing launch hours before inauguration is predatory, and many will likely get hurt by it. Trump should be airdropping to people rather than enriching himself or his team on this. There's a way to spin it that way, but unclear if that's the direction it will go. At the moment, it's looking like an FTX coin. This isn't as big a deal as some are saying and will blow over soon. Mute the people saying it's a top signal, and also mute the people saying it's the biggest thing ever. There's some nuance here, and I like appreciated this take because I feel like there is some good and bad of this, and we just have to kind of let it play out. And here's the not great. And I think this lovely kitty sums it up. Trump, we're kind of happy about that. Melania, because then right after, as you'll see in Adrian's background, the Melania token launched. Like a day later. And it then sent the Trump token plummeting as people shifted from Trump to Melania. It also broke Solana. It's been a minute since we've broken a whole chain. So that was interesting. So Solana was broken for a bit, and there were a lot of people getting upset when they couldn't move tokens.
Did the
they couldn't
chain
sell.
break? As I know Phantom had some issues.
Phantom
like
had
at the
issues.
wallet.
It was some stuff going on Solana itself too. Like Phantom had a lot of, they were overloaded, but
Nothing like a
also
good
my
load test.
understanding was that people were having issues in a number of places, trying to, and it was load. Yeah, it was just demand was crazy. Actually block production continued. Okay. It seemed like it was just insane. Like things were just going crazy for a little bit there because people were scrambling to try and get into the new token. But it dumped the old token hard. So there was a lot of folks that were not thrilled. And this is displayed by this kitty. Also, this kitty is from Crypto Citizens, which is in a non-world account that was created by Phil in the our favorite guy, Phil, at Phil. So this is all like you can post anonymously if you are a member of the Crypto Citizens. So just think that's an interesting new take. So we'll see how this all plays out. I don't think we know that it's definitely not bearish, but also there's nuance here that needs to be like taken into account. It's good and bad. So we'll just see how it all goes. Today's going to be interesting. A lot of things people are wondering is if there's going to be a mention of crypto in the inauguration speech. I would be surprised, but you never know. Couple other quick things. TikTok. This was from AfroChicks. Following the ban, TikTok was banned for a good 12 hours. Following the ban, I've decided on a new business venture. I am officially a TikTok video dealer. Americans send me DGen and I'll apply with a TikTok. And for the premium package, I will see you 5 TikTok videos a day. I have unlimited supply. What a great idea. But it's back. So this was what, and just like that, TikTok is back. Great theatrics, pay attention. So it literally came back yesterday. This was the sorry it's not available, but the one when you came back said, thank you, President Trump. So there you go. Other couple quick things, and then we're going to bring up ChuckStock. This from Gigamesh. I respect all the companies that maintain a Farcaster presence despite the small near-term benefits. It's a signal that they're long-term thinkers and walk the walk on crypto values. And you did agree and created a really cool starter pack called Brand Accounts, but cool. So, which I kind of loved. Yeah, I love that. So it was all these accounts that we love so much that are brand accounts, but they have really good accounts on Farcaster. So go give them a follow.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask a question? Should the Farcaster native brands like Nanar be in here? I think I actually put Icebreaker in at some point, so I would guess, which I consider as very Farcaster.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you have Icebreaker in here. I think you were doing the larger brands, but I think, yeah, we could do the smaller brands too. I think that would be nice. It would be nice to have them. I'm going to do just a couple more quick things. This from Mac Brodowski of kiwi-news. GM, we're launching the writing contest called Farcaster 2026. The goal is to explore paths the Farcaster can take this year to reach the next level in 2026. We have a 2 ETH prize pool for best submissions organized by Kiwi and Purple. More details in this post. So go take a look at that. And if you want to do some writing, great opportunity to talk about Farcaster. And this from Lamone, Farville Alpha is live. Okay, I'm just loving all the games, and this is why I can't wait to talk to ChuckStock. I love all the games. I'm having a blast. This is just like Farmville. I never played Farmville. Did you ever play Farmville?
Nope.
I never played Farmville.
No.
But this is really fun. It's cute. It's in a frame. So far, I've got some crops going. It's fun. It's cute. Go give it a whirl. I have no idea the crypto of it all. Like, I don't know how it's all going to connect, but right now you can go plant some seeds. And this happened. I'm just mentioning. I still don't know what it is. I don't understand what we're doing here, Stephancill. So if you could let us know, we'd appreciate it. But I've been yoing. Yo Adrian gave me a chance to pull some Rocky into this. And it reminds me of Poke. So that's
it's
reminds me of Poke.
Yo is great.
Yo is
because it's stupid and silly and fun.
It's yeah. It has no. Everyone's like, why are we doing this? I'm like, we don't know. Just do it. And we do, and we just do.
It's been brought to my attention. We've been pronouncing Stephensill's name wrong.
Oh, what is it? Stefan?
So right up there with Howley. 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 Every time we've been saying it. So when I was on with Dylan for the hub last week, Dylan was calling him Stefan. Stefan?
Oh, Stefan.
Stefan? Stefan? We were just talking about Stefan. And I said, oh, I'd been saying his name wrong. So I tagged him and I said, how do we pronounce your name? And he said, it's like the ladder with the, I said, with a V or an F. And he said, it's like the ladder. But then he also said, it's like steer fun. Steer fun. So then I'm like, is that just an accent? Is this like
Stefan? So it's
British
Stefan.
or like Australian accent or South American, like South African, like steer fun. I can't get him on our show and he can say it.
So you're going to have to come on, Stefan.
Because until then, you're just Stephancill.
Or Stephen or Stefan or whatever. We need you to come on and also explain to us what the heck this yo is. Okay, one last thing.
Yoink. It's like yoink, but not on chain.
But you just say yo.
Yeah.
Okay, one last thing. Yeah. I have to just, I'm not going to read this whole thing. But Vitalik had a lot to say about the Ethereum Foundation, And then he had a lot to just say about some non-goals that were a little spicy. And then for reasons completely unknown and I don't understand, he decided to change his PFP to a milady, which turned my Saturday insane, but that's okay. We won't even touch that. Yeah, so that is like, so Vitalik's getting a little spicy. Go check that one out. It's getting interesting over on crypto Twitter right now. Everybody's a little bit riled up. And some of it is about the Ethereum Foundation and ETH just not going up as much as other things. And then it also started crashing when other things were going up this weekend. So people get cranky. And also but I feel like Vitalik's very clear on what his direction and goals are. And then he threw a milady on and it got very confusing. I don't know what's happening. And this all happened in the midst of utter chaos. So it was just like, what is going on? What is happening? All right. So that's it for the news. We've got a few other things, but they'll be we always have a section of things we didn't get to. There's a lot today. So please check that section because there's a lot. Anything else before we bring up ChuckStock?
Wow, you did a great job of just really covering the news and just the news.
I tried.
The only aspect I was curious about is what you thought of and we could bring ChuckStock up for this chat too, but just what you thought of the Farcaster angle on everything. So it's like you have the news, but so much of the news this week was really crypto and I always and there was a lot of comparisons of kind of crypto Twitter versus Farcaster. Yes. And just kind of curious what you saw as for the Trump, Melania, and or EF news. What do you think the Farcaster angle is?
I saw multiple people talking about how nobody was talking about the Trump coin on Farcaster. And I'm like, it's my whole freaking feed. What are you talking about? It's the whole because they're not talking about, they're talking about it in different ways, right? They're talking about it in different ways. I think there was a lot more nuance about the good and the bad of this on Farcaster, where at first it mostly on crypto Twitter was like hype and everyone was really excited. Whereas I saw a little more balance in that. And then when the Melania coin dropped, that all changed. Like there was a lot more like, whoa, this is a bad idea. Coming from every direction, like even the most degen of degens.
Well, I thought we were all going to get rich from the Trump meme
Yeah,
coin.
like, exactly.
What?
They're like, wait, you just killed my bags. Now I don't like
I was
it at
born
all.
yesterday. And
but
it's
Chuck,
interesting.
I was just going to ask you, like, what do you think? What were your takes on like this whole insanity of the weekend?
Yeah, how can we even talk about Farcade, quite frankly? that news was so good. I mean, there's so much happening, and that's just like the epitome of crypto. Is just like we're I feel like we're just like redoing the Web 2, and we're just doing it on like a hyper accelerated time frame. We're like, let's do everything we did, but let's just do it again and as fast as we possibly can on crypto. So yeah, but it was wild. It's wild. I just actually saw a tweet from a friend who did some research on it. And it does still feel like it's just a big game of musical chairs of money. Like it seems like there's actually almost like no new net users brought in from the Trump and Melania. I mean, obviously it's 3 days old. Like it's still not that much time. But it was crazy because it was the first time I've seen a lot of people talking about crypto that I haven't seen them talk about crypto since last bull cycle. And then, I started getting the text. I started getting the text this weekend. Where do I buy Bitcoin? Where do I buy Doge? Is always a popular one. I don't know what the stranglehold XRP has over like the normie, like the outside crypto. Either. They have like some mind control machine because like
I've been teaching a blockchain class since 2022, and especially the first class, I'd say, does anybody hold any crypto? And there'd be like 4, and they all had XRP. And nothing else. Like
it's crazy. Yeah. So it's always, I mean, obviously probably the craziest weekend ever in crypto. I mean, I've been here for almost 10 years and it's the craziest thing I've seen.
I forgot about this one too. We didn't pull this over because I forgot there's a new copy pasta and everything. I'll have to pull that real quick, but like the Ryan Fournier rug, except he doesn't know he rugged because he doesn't know what he's doing. And it's like, this is the problem and we see this every time a celebrity launches a coin, right? And this is exactly what happened with Haktua. I remember this leading up to Haktua. So many people who are crypto OGs going, this is a bad idea. Girl, you shouldn't do this. Everybody don't do this. It's a bad idea. You're going to get taken advantage of. And that's exactly what happened. And it's like, here we go again, because you just have a new group of, celebrities or people who are more known within this particular circle who are now launching things, and it's not going to go well.
I mean, I think the biggest thing that concerns me is I'm not sure what this says about Trump's crypto advisors. It seems like there might be some very bad advisors in the White House. And then I also think I think it's scary to see what people are doing like this because the reputational damage is going to be extreme, and I don't think people realize how bad their life is going to get if a angry mob starts coming after them. Having a coin that gets rugged and a bunch of people lose money, it becomes a nightmare. Even if your NFT collections or sales, as someone who's launched NFTs and had tokens and stuff, it's a full-time job, and people will get very upset if that thing isn't 10xing every couple months. People really want to make money. They want to make money quickly, and to rug someone and to be very public, it's gonna be interesting. And
I think we have to separate advisors here too. There's the White House advisors, like the David Sachs level. They're not involved in this. You just know that they were not made aware. I mean, I guarantee it, because David Sachs would be like, in the middle of the crypto ball, please launch a token, is not something he would ever advise. So my guess is that this is the same team, I think, behind World Liberty Coin, because you can see a lot of profits that are being rolled into that. And if you look into them, they're, an interesting group. They'll just leave it at that. Just DYOR.
That's very interesting. I hope that's the case, because
I think that the policy advisors are different than who's advising on the meme coins, or at least Lord, let's hope. but I'm pretty sure they are. I'm sure they're different. I'm sure they're different folks. But it's going to be interesting. But you said something interesting at the very beginning where you said we're kind of redoing Web 2. And it's a great segue to Farcade. Because a lot of like what's happening with the gaming on Farcaster is really reminding me of like that very early days of Facebook, when there was a lot of game development happening and integrating into your social graph. And like Farville's even more so, like very much Farmville.
Yeah.
This is a little different, but the Farcade's a little different, but I see some of those parallels where that's how you're like, this has brought in people to Farcaster.
Yeah.
Who, like, we saw multiple people saying, my wife's now on Farcaster because she likes the Farcade.
Yeah.
So it was like, I saw that like 3 times in the first weekend. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. So let's talk about Farcade. Like, how did this come about? What like made you, decide to pursue this? Like, what's your background? Let's give us a little setup here on what's going on with Farcade.
Yeah, I mean, my background has been engineer crypto for over 10 years. My co-founder is my brother. I think a lot of people don't know that, but
is that Blackstock? Blackstock is your
Yeah.
actual brother. Okay,
yes.
Cool. I didn't know that.
That's our literal last name is Blackstock, but he's the older brother, so he always gets to platforms first, and so steals that user handle. So he always, it's a lifelong of him always getting the handle, and then I get what's left. But we've basically we've been in startups, had a company before this in gaming. We've always loved Web3 and gaming. We just felt like there was such good overlap between that technology and that space, and just from like a core belief of like just really wanting to bring the world on chain and like getting crypto in the hands of as many people as possible. I think gaming is going to be the biggest catalyst. Like, not many people want to day trade. Not many people already care about loans and DeFi. Although this is like incredible technology. There's 3 billion gamers in the world, and I think like a game like Geo Crush has a way better opportunity to onboard people. Like, it's the first time I've ever built anything that my mom plays. It's like I've been building for 10 years, and so I think that's like little proof points of why we think gaming is going to be such an important thing for crypto over the next couple of years.
I have a question. Has mom played Black Hole, and what is her score?
She hates Black Hole. I think it was 3 is her high score so far. She gets really agitated by it.
Mine is 12, and I hate you every time I go in there and play it. Like,
it's weirdly frustrating. I'm upset that I built it. And I'm upset that how good, like, I always think like I'm gonna have this, like I'm gonna be the best because I made the thing, and then my high scores beat like almost immediately. So a lot of shots to my ego and my pride.
But you could. But like, what's stopping you from going in and just changing the sensitivity like 10% to make it a little easier? Like,
for Black
you could
Hole?
do that. Yeah, you could do that, right?
Yeah, I definitely could. There's the genesis of that game was like we had a lot of like long form games. Like there's games like Words and Geo Crush where like I think there's a little bit of gameplay. Black Hole is almost meant to satisfy like we're trying to capture like those like little micro moments you have where you pull out your phone, you're waiting for an elevator, you're in line at Chipotle or like whatever. It's like a lot of times you're on your phone for less than 30 seconds, and I'm just like checking. A lot of times you're like mindlessly checking TikTok or scrolling Twitter, and so I think it's like a thing like Black Hole that I really love is it is something that like I'll pull out and I'll play like one round real quick and then I'll put my phone down. Where Geo Crush, like that's kind of like when I have the TV on and I'm lounging, like those can take 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Geo Crush can take a long time if you're good at it. Like it can take a long time if you're good at it.
Get once, almost break my phone, and then
play it once, get angry. Like I'm in line at the post office and now I'm yelling at the
and then I get arrested.
Black Hole's the number one thing causing fights. It's been really fun. And so in February of this year, we launched our first game on Farcaster called Far World, and that was like a Pokemon creature collection style game. And that was really me and my brother just seeing that Frames was just coming out. And we were like, Frames is going to change the game. Like this is like kind of this reopening back up. And what we saw was that Zynga moment.
Exactly.
And like the thing that we think about a lot when we build games and we're building this company is like obviously Zynga launched Farmville and became one of the biggest games ever. And then Facebook pulled up the drawbridges. It went into like a closed gated ecosystem. And we saw that from like all of Web 2. Everyone almost like turned away this like open ecosystem, and everyone started to like try to capture as much value as they could in their walled gardens. And so I think we see this moment happening again where it's like, oh, we're rebuilding some of these like social medias and these building blocks like with Farcaster, and like the drawbridges aren't going to come up this time. Like, and we're actually starting to see like Web 2 incumbents actually starting to put them back down. I think we're going to see probably Reddit. We're going to see, I still think Twitter is going to do this, or sorry, X is going to do it at some point too. I just think the value of like allowing people to build these apps into your ecosystem is just going to be so powerful. And so, yeah, we launched Farworld, and then that went really well and blew up just because we made some cool frames. And that was like, a proof point for us that like there was something here. There's something about building on Farcaster and like building these really cool experiences. And so when we did that in February, the two ideas we had were Farworld and the Farcade. And so we've actually built about 6 different versions of the Farcade over the last year until we finally got to this latest version.
Was the V2 frames that must have changed a lot for what you were doing?
That was the hard. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. The Frames V1 just was like, I think, too hard for gaming. Like games like Black Hole couldn't exist. It ended up favoring very like correspondence games, and it's just like it was too slow, quite frankly. And so as much as I love Frames V1 for like a lot of things, I think it's great for like event registration and potentially commerce and things where you just like want to click one button. But when you have like you want to have like very quick interactions, it just wasn't possible. So we actually were building on a Telegram mini app and waiting for Frames V2, and then Frames V2 came and we were able to launch across Farcaster, Telegram, and World app. So we're on all 3 ecosystems now.
So I've heard a lot of people talking about Telegram games, and I wasn't even aware they existed until fairly recently. Because I don't like Telegram. I'm there only if I have to be, that kind of thing. But I've heard it's huge. Like people play tons of games on there and do different rewards and things like that. So are you seeing, like, where are you seeing your uses coming from? Is it more from Telegram, more from Farcaster, more from the World app? Like, where's the usage?
Yeah, so Telegram's massive. Telegram has 1 billion users. It's
crazy.
The mini apps have gone very viral. Like the very successful ones, like Hamster Combat, grew to 80 million users in like 3 or 4 weeks or something. Like it was the fastest growing game ever. And so again, like people always say like bots and stuff, but like I don't know. I just ignore bots for the sake of these conversations, because I think it's a rabbit hole that every platform in the world has a problem with. But for us, we see a lot of usage across all 3. I think Farcaster is the one that's most interesting because of the social component. Like that's why it's like the most fun part for me, and I think that's actually where we see like the stickiest engagement. And I see like we see like much better user numbers in terms of retention and like time spent on the platform, because I think people have that social component built into the feeds and the channels, and there's a lot of people sharing their scores and talking about it. So Farcaster,
do you see more like challenges happening in Farcaster as opposed to like people challenging each other?
Yes, we see a lot more challenges of like the same people, I guess. Like you see like little cohorts forming, and they're always like playing challenges, which is really exciting. I think like Telegram and World app, it seems like they're almost like abusing the system a little bit just to like share points, which is something that we monitor pretty closely. But that's something we've decided pretty early on, is like we're not going to like turn off features because there's a handful of people that are going to abuse it. Like if the majority of people really like it and it's going to be fun, like we're going to favor that, and we'll find a way to like, basically ban or punish people that are trying to abuse a system that we're really enjoying and most people do enjoy. But
so I want to talk a little bit about the points too. So we know this has like a crypto component, like from the front page the front screen, when you go into the frame, you can see like something that says market cap and like talks about each of the games. What's that like? And it says coming soon. What's coming soon? Like, what is that? Like, that's what everybody wants to know. They want to know, are these points going to be something else? And that's where the abuse would make sense, right? If people are coming in because they think it's going to lead to something else. So can you talk a little bit about what that plan is and what that roadmap looks like?
Yeah, I'll talk about as much as I can publicly.
Okay.
Some of the stuff is still internal, but yes, the points will be leading. The points will be a factor leading into our TGE. So the Farcade will have
True.
a WEN token.
One
yes.
token.
Oh man, my
token.
DMs are full.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
so the Farcade token is coming this year. Hopefully on the sooner side rather than later side. I think we're a team with a lot of experience, and we know how much it takes to launch a token. We know like especially in the US, like there's a lot that goes into it.
Contrary to what some people may think from recent events.
And once you launch, so you can launch a token. Like it's very technically easy to launch a token. It's never been easier just to launch a token. But when you're trying to build a company that has a 5 to 10 year roadmap, it's an incredible burden once a token's out there. I've talked to friends. I literally have a friend that has a 9-figure AI agent token. His token's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's wishes he could undo it because it's been such a strain and it's been so stressful, and he gets like it's just been such a burden to have that token, and it like freaks him out. He's like, I can't sleep, like everyone's screaming at me, like I don't know what to do. And I think people don't like understand that that's the downside of when you launch these coins too fast. Like just imagine you launched a 9-figure token and you wish you could undo it. Like it almost seems unfathomable as someone who's buying these tokens, but once you run one of these communities, you understand how stressful it is. And so there will be a token, but we really want to like try to launch that as well as we possibly can, and like have it in this place where we feel like all the utility, all the tokenomics, and everything's very strong. So all the points, the experience points, playing those games, that all is adding to your account for we'll qualify you for our token generation event. The airdrop.
And will that token allow you to buy more tickets when you lose all your tickets playing Black Hole?
We'll probably add just we're definitely looking into that. I think the monetization is something we're really excited about, and so not just monetization for us, but the thing that you're seeing with like the market caps and these other tokens is we're slowly going to start opening the doors so that hopefully the majority of games aren't built by us. They're built by everybody else. And
that was the other thing. Yeah, that looked cool. You're doing like a beta access or something for others to build. That's awesome.
And so we'll talk about the story I wanted to talk to you about with Geo Crush and like the way these games are built is they're all built with our in-house AI game studio. So literally both of you could be building games in the Farcade soon because it's literally just using AI prompts to build this game. And so
that's cool.
We were at home over the holidays. So me and my brother were sitting down with my older sister at the time. She's like the name on the game when you play it, Haley B. Fuller. She is a huge she's a huge Candy Crush. She's like obsessed with it. And she's like, I'll play the Farcade if you guys have a Candy Crush game. And we're like, we could probably build that. And so we sat down with her, and over the course of 4 hours,
Miriam had said that like a while ago, before you started talking. That's so funny.
So we sat down with her and we started pair programming using our AI studio and just kind of holding her hand and showing her how to prompt AI. And we had to do a little manual fixing of some minor bugs, but it took us literally from like 4 hours from like start of the idea to just doing AI prompts to basically launch the first version of Geo Crush. And then within 5 hours after launching on the Farcade, it had tens of thousands of plays, tens of thousands of players. And once we launched monetization, we want that to be tens of thousands of dollars, which we really think is possible. And so that's cool. The thing that I'm really excited about is like, I think the Farcade is going to be the best distribution and monetization platform for anyone wanting to build games. And with these AI tools that are coming out, everyone can build games. You both will be able to launch your own games. Like you'll launch them as easy as you can create content.
I love it. I have a question about the games. If you're building them, can you bring in your own assets? And what I mean by that is like, could I have all these little nouns being the Geo Crush instead of, you know what I mean? Like something like that.
Yes, 1,000%. So that's the big like other things. Like gaming is very IP driven for social and engagement. So we're talking with meme communities. We're actually talking with the Nouns esports team. So we're talking with a lot of people. And so you can imagine where even if you're a big game, a lot of these big games take years to develop because they're just huge undertakings. But they have giant communities and they want to give them something. They have a lot of assets. And so the AI studio basically have like an asset marketplace where you can be spinning up games where it's like a Flappy Bird with little nouns glasses, like jumping through the pipes, or noun symbols instead of Geo Crush symbols. And that's a huge thing we're excited about, is not only just is the gameplay really fun, but maybe just like a themed version of the game does way better because people like that IP more. And so that's definitely
we had a game dev who was building some nounish games, and they were really pretty good, but again, it was such a heavier lift, right? This is so much easier, and you have it right in front of an audience that's already familiar with the IP too. So it's like, this to me makes so much more sense for us to like try and build something that fits into this sort of frame, because it's perfect. Perfect.
I've been programming for a long time, and so I'm very disincentivized for AI to be as good as it's gotten. But we just as we were building the Farcade, and the black hole is actually what was like the genesis for a lot of this new idea with this AI game studio was we really wanted to build this like TikTok for gaming, where we just had all these games and it was really fast, and like you got all these like hyper casual games, but we knew we were going to have this like problem where we weren't going to have enough games. And so we started building out this AI studio as like an internal tool to build games. And the first game I built with it was Black Hole. And Black Hole was built in like 3 prompts. It was like, I want a game that's like a timing-based game with a ball. It was kind of almost actually had like a putt-putt feel to it, as opposed to like the space feel. But it took like literally like almost 3. It was like almost a completely done game in 3 prompts. And I was like, anyone could have done that. And as we did that, we're like, why is this an internal tool? Why isn't this like something that everybody gets to enjoy and build? And then why don't we just build like the best platform for you to get your first users? If everyone can build and launch games, the next thing you're going to want is just to get that game in front of people. So that's what the Farcade is really trying to capitalize with, like all these different mini apps. Is we want you, if you launched a game, we want you to get thousands of players instantly. We don't want you to have to like spend all this time making a game and then you have to be like, okay, well now I got to grow a following, I got to find ads, I got to grow on TikTok or whatever. It would just be a lot better if you can hit a launch button and now thousands of people have access to your game.
Amazing. So this from Scott: when will the AI studio be available for us normies?
Hopefully soon. So it's more of like we're working on like the launch strategy for the AI studio. So we'll probably, because the one thing that we're very cognizant of and something that we learned off previous iterations was how important we want like the initial user experience to be. Like, we really don't want you to come to the Farcade and now there's 1,000 Flappy Bird clones or there's like a bunch of really crappy games out, because everyone can just build and ship games so quickly. So we really want there just to be a very curated experience at the start. And so we're being very specific about who we partner with until we feel like we have like a critical mass of games on the platform where like natural curation will just filter out the bet. So that's hopefully always good games at the top of your feed. But until that point, we're being very specific. We're working with a lot of people that have either game development experience or have like a little bit of engineering background, because I think that helps them with like the fringe cases of an AI studio where AI is very good for 95%, and then the last 5% will make you smash your head against the wall when you can't fix the bug. And you're like, no,
Adrian?
fix this thing.
Adrian, does this feel familiar with your bot?
It's great. Yep, it's great until it tries to drop your database. That was, I don't know if you saw Daniel from Bounty Caster cast that. He was working with it. Cursor was like, doing something, and then like literally it was going to nuke their database. It's like,
oh my god.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
It hallucinates, and if you're not ready for it, and if you don't have engineering experience, it's almost impossible to catch. And so
because you wouldn't even know that something's going wrong.
What does drop database mean? Okay, sounds good. If it suggests it, I think that should be fine. So the normies, like I would love people to be able to start using it, by the end of next month would be my guess. But we probably will start opening up for people to launch games in the studio, like end of Q1, start of Q2.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's good.
I love this. I want to make a game. I want to make a game.
I
don't know
what,
but we got to think about that, Adrian. Let's make a game.
Yeah, we have like 40,000 people on the wait list, and so a good way to get
holy cow.
Yeah, so a good way to get up is just by being in the Farcade. Like, that's how we're going to prioritize people. A lot of it's going to be through Farcaster as well, just because the dev talent on Farcaster is insane. Like, the builders there, the community there. So I think a lot of people on Farcaster will be the people who get first access because we have a lot higher faith in that than some of these other networks.
Awesome. I love that. This is super fun. I love that that it's so easy. It's making it so easy. But also you mentioned the TikTok style of it. And that was something that Dylan Dillstack mentioned when they were doing the Hub, which is a more dev focused show that we do on Tuesdays. And he mentioned it, and I hadn't thought about it like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's that same kind of flow. And it makes it also sucks you in.
Yeah,
Very smart. Very smart.
Well, so like as we talked about before, like Black Hole's like a game I love. I don't really like Words with Friends. Like I'm not like a big fan of like Wordle or these words games. I find it very challenging.
Me neither. I actually very much have said that many times because everyone expects me to love word games and I hate them. And I've said it very publicly, do not challenge me to words because eventually I want to be done with this game. I literally asked you on the timeline, can I please have a forfeit button?
Yeah, I need a forfeit button. There's a lot of challenges. And I like look at my letters and it just is like, my brain just shuts off. I'm just like, what are words? Like, I don't get it. And so I think that's like a lot of the genesis for the TikTok style feed. And something that's so beautiful about TikTok is like, you don't go there for a specific video. You go there because it's going to give you the videos you find interesting. And I think at the rate at which we think games are going to be happening, our goal right now is to be launching games once a week. And then I think ideally we're going to be starting launching games once a day. And then like, once you have a bunch of users, like it's going to be multiple games a day. And so there's this future where in that case, like we want a feed to like, we're like priming you to start using that as like the way you're going to find new games and find new experiences. Gaming will always be a little bit different because I think you do come back to a gaming platform to play a specific game. A lot of times you're like, Geo Crush was fun. I would like to go play another round of that.
Yeah.
But I think once you're on the platform, that's when we want to get you like, oh, I played Geo Crush. It's like, what's next? And then the feed is really this thing that we can serve you content we think is best catered towards you. And I think is a great way to actually allow new builders to be discovered, which is so great about TikTok, which is any post can go viral. Any post can be seen by millions of people. It makes it very fun to post. Where I want the Farcade to feel that way, where it makes it very fun to launch a game because any game that you launch, anything that you create can go out to hundreds of thousands or millions of gamers. And that's something that I think is going to be very powerful and exciting because a lot of people are solving for the monetization first. Like I've seen other platforms that give game studios tokens and solve this problem. I'm like, that's great. But everyone needs users still. Like I would be much more excited as a builder if not only, I mean, money is great, but like, I also want to get users. Like I want to get people to play my game and get excited about what I just built. And because I can grow that game if I have users. Otherwise it's just kind of like a Ponzi-nomics on top of a token.
I appreciate your thoughtfulness around that. Because I have multiple times asked if I could just buy some tickets and you're like, not yet. Like, I want to give you money. And you're like, I don't care. I don't want your money. I don't want your money yet.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I love how much, like, it makes me very happy that how much people ask, can I buy tickets? Like, it makes me like, that's exactly what I want. I want people to be like almost like starved to play the Farcade. Like it makes me really, I think it just makes it very exciting. The core loops and the feedback feel very good. And it's like something that I think makes gaming fun. Like I was talking to a very famous gamer, and he is one of the interview questions he always asks people is, why are carnival games fun? Why is like throwing the little ring on the bottle fun? Why is that stuff fun? And the answer is because you paid. Like it's fun because there's stakes. And like even though the tickets are free, there's a stake to it because they're not readily available. A lot of times you run out very quickly. Very few people have just like hordes of tickets. And so the ticket is really meant to represent like a limited amount of play to make that game more fun. And like it adds more excitement to the game. It makes you feel like there's something at stake there, which I think just makes gaming more fun in general. And so that's like a lot of why we love the tickets. They definitely will be like purchasable at some point because I think that will be a great monetization rails for games and game studios. So we want to like use the ticket revenue as a pass through to the game studio. So if your game studio, when Nounish launches your game, if it's collecting all the tickets, you'll earn all that revenue. And so that's like how we view the ticket system in the future.
That's why Words is a carnival.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to play that. But I think there's also something else here is that it encourage more challenge play. Because
Exactly.
I'd run out of tickets. I want to play the freaking black hole thing again because it was so close, right? And then I have to go challenge somebody in order to do that. So I think that also, had this little side benefit of making me interact with other people even when I didn't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like gaming's social. Like it's like gaming's becoming like the biggest form of entertainment in the world, and a crazy percentage of that entertainment is just social. Like it's not playing games, it's not like anything around the actual activity. It's all about talking about it. It's all about engaging with friends and having that shared experience. And so that's something that I love about the challenges is I've like started to have all these full conversations with people that's like, stop beating me in my own game, and like I'm becoming like friends with people, and it's like it's something that I really like about the challenges. And I was playing again, I was with my family over the holidays, and we started doing like 500 point high stakes challenges, and my sisters are screaming, their hands are sweating, and I was like, it was fun. This was really, really fun.
That's awesome. Okay. And I do love, somebody mentioned the ticket tipping. Sparks did, because she was like, I'm giving away 20 tickets. I'm like, first of all, how do you have that many tickets? But I think it's because like they were doing so many challenges, they weren't using their tickets. So that she had a bunch to give away. But that ticket tipping is like, that's so cool. And that to me is something you couldn't do anywhere else, right? You can't do that on Facebook. You can't do that. I don't know if you can do that in Telegram. Maybe you can, but like that to me was so cool to be able to just do the ticket emoji and a number, and then all of a sudden there's another ticket in your account. And I think there's really something cool to that I don't know if everybody realizes like how cool that is.
I didn't know I didn't know you could take ticket. I didn't know you could send tickets. How do you?
It's because nobody's giving them away because they can't buy more. So,
I want to give a ticket away. So how do I do it? I didn't even know you could do this.
You just do like the number X and then the ticket emoji.
Oh, in the feed, not in Farcade.
In a reply.
Frame.
Yeah, so in a reply, not in the frame. If you just reply to someone on Farcaster with like a number X ticket.
Yep.
Oh, anyone want a ticket?
All right, whoever wants a ticket,
ticket,
make a note in the chat and she'll send you a ticket.
It's why I love why I love open social graphs. Like there's just really cool benefits if you're playing on Farcaster. Like we're gonna start doing DJ veterans. That's how you tip tickets. And to be clear, those come from your balance. Those aren't free tickets to give out. You don't have like an allowance.
This isn't DGen. This is not a DGen allowance. This is not a ticket allowance.
Yes.
Although that would be really cool, especially for like media, just saying, to do giveaways and stuff when you get to that. That would be very cool to be able to give that away.
Yeah, happy to send you some tickets if you want to do some giveaways.
That would be fun. We'd love
always
to.
Around us. Yeah, send tickets. And so I can definitely send those because they're fun. And yeah, it depends on the game style. Some people spend them as fast as they make them. Like if you play words, you probably have a lot. But it's fun. And hats off to like Nanar. Nanar makes that super simple to add webhooks and scroll the feeds. And like, so adding that was like dead simple. Like I think that took me 20 minutes to add from like a work standpoint because Nanar exists. And then just because Farcaster exists, that's something that's nearly impossible to do on a lot of these other platforms. And on top of Farcaster, it becomes so easy. And then, we're adding some like really cool new features around challenges. So group challenges are coming. Yeah. So in there,
I need that for, okay. Have you heard of Cast Out?
I have not heard of Cast Out.
Okay. So you launched just a smidge too late for the last Cast Out. Cast Out is like a Survivor inspired game that we do on Farcaster, and we use all like Farcaster games and challenges and things like a meme challenge and like not meme coin and like things like that. But also we used like the basketball game that I forget who did that one now. That had just come out.
One. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've used Speed Tracer, things like that. So this would have been perfect. I'm like, oh my God, this would have been perfect. But a group one's even better because the way we're doing is tribes. So tribe versus tribes of 5 people. So that would be amazing to be able to do a group challenge.
Yeah, so we're doing like group challenges, time gated challenges. So I think a lot of these things are going to be very successful on Farcaster because you have like the social media distribution where it can be something where here's a group challenge for the high score on Black Hole. It's X tickets to enter, and the high score wins, 1,000 or 10,000 Farcade points, and it's 15 minutes, or and like, a lot of these things are just points and stuff right now, but all this stuff is going on chain. There's going to be many, many more tokens, especially once game studios go live. So basically, when you create games, you'll be actually creating like a game studio, which will have its own token associated with it that people can buy and earn from playing your games. And so we're really excited about all of that stuff. We're working with some like amazing partners behind the scenes. We have we're just trying to keep our head above water.
There's a lot of great opportunity for brands to sponsor games too. So I could totally see doing a prop with nouns and getting, some sponsorship and getting some dev, some devs to build some with the IP and all that, but then to also sponsor tournaments, and do that kind of thing. Like I would love to do some GM Farcaster tournaments and things like that, just because I love games. So
the beautiful thing too is not only will you be sponsoring tournaments, you'll be sponsoring your own games. Like I think like a new wave that will happen is here's 1 ETH. Who from GM Farcaster is gonna create the coolest game over the next week? Yeah, and that's something that we're really excited about. Is like not only is it gonna be your ability to sponsor stuff, but the sponsorship can actually create new IP and new material. Like it's gonna be a whole new wave with this AI created software development tools where you're not just going to have to sponsor developers and you're just kind of a banner or an ad. Like you can sponsor a bunch of people to go build entirely new gaming experiences for you, just using your IP.
Right. Yeah. So it can be part of the game, not just a banner on the game.
Exactly.
And I think that's huge. I think that's really huge because I think that's a much better integrated way of advertising and marketing rather than being so what we were used to with banner ads and things popping up and kind of cluttering the surface area and like making it less aesthetic. So I think we can do some cool things there. That's awesome.
Definitely. That's kind of the belief we had when we first launched the Farcade is we knew we would have to build the first suite of games. We knew we'd have to get that initial traction, but we believed that if we did this, that like a lot of people would be excited about it. And we're talking to not like just literally like the biggest names in Web3. We're talking to like some of the biggest sponsors because they're all like, they see what's happening and they're like, this would be huge for them. And we're still small. Like we still have so much room to grow. We've grown quite a bit in the last month, but like there's a lot of opportunity here. And it's exciting to see like some of the biggest names in the space, like that excited about what's happening and where we're building. And I think it's like, it's just like proving out this thesis we have, which is like, it's huge opportunity for hyper casual gaming, especially for user generated content where the user generated content is hyper specific. It's very built for now, and it's just very built for that community. Yeah. If it only took you an hour or two to build using AI prompts, it's still probably very worth your time, where that wasn't always the case for gaming. Sometimes gaming took years and millions of dollars and devs, and the game would still suck at the end. And so now when it takes maybe just half a day to build it, and it was very fun to build, like building games is very fun. Like I think people will be surprised at how much you'll enjoy just using AI to prompt and like fine tune games and configure it. Like it's very, very fun.
That would actually be a fun stream when that's ready. Maybe Adrian and I could create a game
100%.
and stream it. Stream the game development would be really interesting.
I bet we could create a game and launch it within an hour.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you could have like a game
and so we could even use my Pudgy IP.
We could.
I have a few little Pudgies.
If you have Pudgies, we can definitely use Pudgies. I think there's a lot of like, you can really easily envision like infinite runners where like a Pudgy's going down like a slide or a track and you're trying to like jump or avoid like obstacles. There's a lot of things you could do with that IP. And obviously it's such a powerful IP that people want to play it just because it's very recognizable.
Right.
So I think we got
it. So we can do it.
100%.
So let's build a game when you're ready, and we'll do a little stream while we build a game. That'd be amazing.
We'll have to come back. I think again, I'm probably back a month out
when you're ready.
But we'd love to come back.
That'd be amazing. This has been so fun. So Adrian, any other questions that you have? Also, first, I have another question for Adrian. Which is your favorite game?
I've been partial to Geo Crush lately.
Yeah.
That's definitely my favorite. And then I like 2048.
2048.
Yeah. 2048 is really good too. I like that one. The other ones frustrate me to all hell. So I can't. Yeah. I play them, but I don't like them.
My micro feedback, Chuck, on 2048, because I want to move really fast, my fingers on the sliding. But if you go out of the frame, then you're sliding the V2 frame itself, like you're in. So it ends up having like that tiny little
okay. So if you're like you're
annoyance.
Like on the side, it's like kind of bouncing the frame around.
Yeah.
I'll look into that.
I mean, there might, whatever.
She's got technical feedback. I've got feedback like I can't get enough tickets.
I love it. It's it's always like there's a little bit of trade-offs working in mini apps. You don't always have like the most control over all the scenarios, but definitely I think that's something we can fix.
Awesome. Or if not there. I do have a question. Are you and you're on video and you already told us your last name, so you're doxxed. Yeah. But are you old enough to have like grown up with real arcade experience?
Yeah, I'm 35, so I'm not like that young. But so
I think still arcades. Like I go to the boardwalk down the shore and there's like old school arcades, but like I don't know, Prof. Do you remember?
Like did you play Miss Pac-Man in an arcade?
How fun were those arcades? Like real arcade experience.
I really miss it. Because I grew up in a small mountain town in Colorado, and the main thing we have for entertainment there was we had a movie theater that had an arcade in it, and it was always like the most exciting thing when like they had a new arcade machine come into the thing. I remember it was like the Star Wars, when Star Wars Episode 1 came out, they had like a little pod racer one, which was cool. Yes. But it had like all the original ones, where it had like Double Dragon, Pac-Man, they had Rampage. They had like all these like really old school ones too, which were super fun. So yeah, I grew up on arcades. I absolutely loved them. And I've always been obsessed with them. And it makes me sad too, because like modern arcades like all have like, they're all terrible now. All the games are just like, I feel like they're just like little dopamine hits, and the gameplay lasts like 2 seconds. But you used to have like Cruisin' USA, and if a single quarter could last you a long time if you were good at games on the old arcade games, and they're super fun.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of the stuff that we're building is very heavily inspired by like our experience playing arcade games. That's like the model for the games that we're making too. Is like we want to make a lot of these games that do have like a start and an end. There's game over. Like that's a lot of the inspiration, and so. Grew up in arcades, absolutely love them. And actually I casted the other day. I was just at an arcade the other day because I was doing some testing, trying to find some new market research.
Market research. So we did our event at ETH Denver last year at Punch Bowl Social, and we're going to do it again this year.
Amazing.
And they had a 4-person Pac-Man player table. So much fun. So much fun. I think I played with Lynx and I think Sparks. I think if you guys are still in here, I think you both played with me. And it was so fun.
The best arcade, one of my favorite arcades that exists is called Killer Queen. But it's very few people have it, and it's actually like 6 on 6. It's like 6 on 6. So you need 12 people all at this arcade. So it's something that would be like perfect for an ETH Denver where you actually have a bunch of people that would want to play, because that's always the hardest part is there's never like 12
having enough people who want to play it.
So those types of games are really fun. But Punch Bowl Social is great. That's a fun spot.
It was fun. We did we were up in the mezzanine. We took over the mezzanine. We're going to do the same this year. So they have arcade games all around plus pool table, and like that to me is those are the type of events I like to host and go to, because you just, even if people aren't comfortable like chatting or can't quite get in the groove, like it makes it so much easier, right? If you're playing a game with somebody or you're playing pool or whatever, that's just easier to interact too. So plus it had karaoke rooms, and that was the real reason, because some people in our chat wanted to sing karaoke, so we made it happen. So we'll be doing it again.
Karaoke is a great icebreaker. Once you've sung in front of someone, there's no boundaries.
There's no going back.
But let us know if you need anything or any support for that event. I think we're trying to do some more arcade stuff. So
we'd love that. Yeah, we'll slide into your DMs. Yeah, because we'd love that. We'd love to have you involved, and it's kind of it's a really good fit. We'll be playing games. That's amazing. Anything else, Adrian, before we wrap?
If you've got time, I'll throw you some lightning round questions.
Ooh, 1 second first. Before that, really quick, who came up with Surge on Geo Crush? It is such a saver. It totally is. Like, if you guys are playing Geo Crush and you haven't noticed surge yet, you want to make those little lightning bolts go together because it's going to be the only thing that can save you sometimes.
Yeah, that's actually my brother. My brother came up with it because we kept losing to my sister, and so we needed an equalizer. We needed a way to keep up with her. Like, I don't. She just like sees this. It's like the Matrix or something. She just like gets it. I'm like I just connect the first thing I see, and so we added Surge, and
So
yeah,
funny.
it's been a great feature. I think
It's
a
so
really
cool.
fun. It's a really fun
That's
feature.
really, yeah. My 13-year-old son sees it that way too.
Yeah.
Like
You can just
knows
see it.
exactly
Yeah.
like if I do this and I know these 4 things will fall. I'm like, how do you see it that fast?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, because like I had a belief that it was a lot more luck than I do now. Like I was like, oh yeah, I can get 1,000, but like if I get really lucky, I'll get 2,000. But then I'll like watch my sister, and my brother-in-law are obsessed with it. So my sister, who's married to my brother-in-law, they like stay up all night now, just like playing that, challenging each other. And now it's like they send screenshots in the family chat whenever because whenever my brother-in-law wins, it's a big deal. And so yeah,
That's
yeah, so it's
adorable.
really exciting. But
I love that.
yeah, when I watch them play, I realize like it is a lot of skill to it. Like there is a lot of like connecting and watching them fall because they're routinely 4,000 plus, which is very like I don't think I've done 4,000 yet. I think
Wow.
I'm high score.
Yeah, I don't know what mine's at. This is funny. Ask about streaks.
I said don't trigger Prof.
I had a
Well,
sad. I had a sad when I break a streak. Scott, same. I don't care about streaks in general. And for some reason, when I lost my streak last time, I was very upset. People want to be able to buy and revive their streak. Will that come eventually? I guess is the question.
It's a really good question. I think like a big thing in gaming is the optics of like pay to win. So I think that's like a big thing we always try to avoid is we don't want pain. We want pain to enhance your gaming experience, but we don't want you to be able to pay to beat other people. So paying to play more is great. So like you can get better at games. Paying to like support creators is obviously very big, but I think paying to revive and keep streaks going is right on the fringe of whether.
Sorry, Scott.
I honestly I would like it because it's. I think there's a good chance there might be like you get like one streak revival or something like you can pay to revive it, but
or an
like,
earn. Maybe it's an earn thing. Maybe you have to play enough to earn the revive or something.
Yeah, because I do feel bad, especially since like our days end at 0 UTC, which is like 5 p.m. Mountain Time. So it's like a weird time where like you can be playing every day and still like miss a streak. Like if you played at like 5 o'clock,
that's what happened.
Like 5 o'clock to play, you like lost a streak. So there's like a weird things that can happen with the timing, which
so it's 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Wait a minute, no, it's UTC, midnight UTC. Is that
midnight UTC? At what ends up being 5 p.m. Mountain Time or 7 p.m. Eastern Time is the reset.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very good thing about like we were gonna do like midnight Pacific Time or Eastern Time, but like the reality is that most of our users aren't in the U.S. or even in Europe, so it's a very global. So midnight UTC works pretty well.
Cool. Adrian, you got some lightning round questions?
Yeah, we'll do this quick.
Then we'll wrap.
All right.
We've held you for a long time. Sorry.
This has been great. This was really fun. Thank you for having
me. We love having you on. Okay, so on Farcaster, we talk a lot about the URL to IRL pipeline and emphasize a lot of kind of internet friends. So when and how did you make your first internet friend?
Ooh, my first internet friend. My first internet friend was through a game called World of Warcraft back in the day. Yeah, so that was my first like MMO or online game. Again, I grew up in a small mountain town, so internet didn't really exist up there until I was early 2000s. So that was like kind of the first time I was getting exposure to internet friends. And so yeah, met my first friend who was helping me with like a hard part of the game, and then we became friends, and then we just started talking, and then we joined the same guild together, and I actually got to see him in person. Like, yeah, I saw him in person at a concert at Red Rocks in Colorado, like 5 years or 6 years after that. So it was really fun. It was a very like surreal moment to like see someone in person you have like such a deep relationship with, but you like have this realization you had never met them in person. So it was very cool. It was a very fun moment.
I love that.
It's such an epic answer. We could end it there.
Great answer. But a couple more things. You got to give them a couple more.
Favorite channel on Farcaster.
Farcade.
Besides Farcade.
Besides Farcade, let's see. So yeah, but beside my two, Farcade, Farworld, I'm trying to think of the other ones that I really like. I do like the Founders one. The Founders one, I feel like actually has like amazing info. I think there's like a lot of inspiring people in there, and I think like I just think that's like very high quality information of like people sharing like really great stories. And so I think if you're a founder, there's either like great things to learn from or just things that like resonate a lot with. The founder's journey is like an incredibly bumpy road, and so I've always really enjoyed the stories from that channel.
I agree.
Yeah, we
love that one.
What is your favorite holiday?
I think 4th of July. I really like being outside in the sun and feels like it's like the peak of summer, and so I really like 4th of July is a good one.
Prof, you can tell he grew up in a snowy place.
Yeah,
we like summer.
4th of July is one of my favorites too, though.
Prof lives in Florida. It's like, what is summer? Okay.
But when I lived in Massachusetts, that's the same reason I liked 4th of July.
One's outside
it's that summer moment. It's just peak. Yeah.
Morning person or night owl?
Oh, I'm a night owl by nature, but I feel like I'm a morning person now, just like trying to be a responsible adult. But I think if I was just like left to my own vices and the calendars didn't exist, I would be I think I would be up till like 3 or 4 a.m. every night. So I like the night owl life.
Ski or snowboard?
Snowboard.
What's a country you want to visit next?
Switzerland.
Ooh.
To
snowboard?
Actually, I want to go in the summer. I love trains, and I just feel like every time I see a photo of like Lake Como or the mountains, I'm just like, is that even real? I have to go see that. So I really want to
go. Completionist, yes or no?
I would say yes, but yes, I'm gonna say yes.
Do you know what Bot or Not says about you?
Bot or Not says about me? No.
You're not a bot. Don't worry. Yeah. You're a builder.
Builder. Nice.
Yeah. That's kind of that's top tier.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
top tier. Top tier casting.
Yeah. Football or soccer?
Soccer.
If you were to write a book, what would it be about?
I think it would be about how I think you should build. I think it'd be about building startups in like a modern ecosystem. So I think a lot of it would be about like this AI wave I'm seeing about building a small company and like how to take advantage of the things that are happening in our ecosystem right now. So a lot of like what the Farcade is trying to do, and I think that's something that a lot of startup founders and builders would like.
Yeah, I agree.
Kiwi skin on or off?
Off.
Off. He's not a psycho.
Yeah.
Should I ask about I won't even ask about an orange then.
That was funny.
No.
All right, last question. What is the last thing you bought with crypto?
Trump coin.
Well, no, the last thing I bought with crypto, so I mean, obviously there's like buying all the NFTs and the tokens, but actually this hoodie is the last thing I bought with crypto.
Is it super based? I was wondering if it was a super based hoodie.
Yeah, which is the most comfortable.
Shout out Toady Hawk.
Yeah, it's the most comfortable thing I've bought in a long time. It's the first, it's one of the, I think it's the last like physical item I purchased with crypto. So
love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Little shout out, little love for Toady Hawk there with the super based hoodie.
It's awesome.
That's awesome. Anything else, Adrian?
No, I think we can call it.
All right, let's call it.
Playing games.
Yeah, I gotta go revive my streak. No, I'm just kidding. I think I have a couple words games that are waiting for me that I'm ignoring at the moment, but I'll probably get back to them, I guess. This has been awesome. I'm super excited. So you will be around at ETH Denver then?
Yeah,
yes?
me
great.
Me and the team, we're looking at doing a couple big partnerships and launches there, but we'll definitely be around. I love that conference. So hopefully if you see me, please come say hi. I think sometimes I kind of have a resting like dumb look, and I think people think I'm meaner than I am in real life. So please come say hi to me. I love meeting people. And it's been my favorite part. And the Farcaster, the FarCon event at ETH Denver last year was one of my all-time favorite events from any conference. And so, again, if you see me, I would love to meet any of you in person.
So, and we'll give you some info about what we're doing at ETH Denver. Slide into your DMs on that.
Yeah,
and that's going to be the same. It's going to be Saturday as well, earlier in the day. So we're going to make it a whole day of Farcaster fun.
I love that. That's great. We're taking over a whole day.
Taking
now.
over Saturday.
We're growing,
taking the whole Saturday over. This has been amazing. With that, everyone, we're going to call it. Tomorrow, the hub will be back at 10 a.m. with Dillstack to chat about things on a more dev level. And then Wednesday, I'll be here with Toady Hawk as my fill-in, not Adrian.eth. And we'll have Dan from pods.media on chatting about that platform. And then Friday, we have a takeover. Naomi and Lynx are taking over GM Farcaster for the show on Friday while Adrian and I are traveling. And with that, everyone, thank you so much, Chuck. This has been amazing. Hi to the whole fam, by the way. I mean, it's just amazing that it's like a family business. It's just so fun. And we will see you in Denver.
Awesome.
And with that, everyone, we're going to say bye-bye.